Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Christina. Again.
Hello.
Hi, is it Ciara?
Sierra, yes. Hello, how are
Sierra.
you? Good
I'm
day.
wonderful. Where are you joining us from?
I'm in Washington, D.C.
Oh, where it's about to get cold, or is it warm?
It's giving very nice fall day, crispy but warm still. So we're enjoying fall today.
Little
Crispy,
Indian summer.
crispy, but warm. I like that. Crispy, but warm. Wonderful, wonderful. And I think Tiara, hello, hello. C. Brown, Victoria's
Green.
Attitudes. I like that. Victoria, I love that. Hello. Green, green. Hi,
Hello.
hi, beautiful lady. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you so much for today. I'm super excited. Listen,
Well,
look, I have my notebook ready. I am ready.
Oh, no pressure. No
Lisa,
pressure.
really quickly, sorry to, I'm actually about to catch a flight at 3 o'clock, you guys, but I want to make sure that I opened it up properly and edified you the right way. So for if you are someone that's on right now and you might be on because you're like, you know what, I want to know how to tell my story. I want to know how to share the right language. Lisa and Danita just wrapped up an onboarding call that pretty much welcomes you to Total Life Changes and gives you the basics. As we transition, there are some leaders, some of my leaders that have earned 5, 6, and 7 figures on the line. We have a opportunity call that's every day, Monday through Friday. So what's cool about this is Lisa has
Are you
support.
recording? Are you recording? Okay, good. I want to make sure we got your words. You're recording.
Let me make sure.
Sorry. No,
No,
you are. You are. I see it.
it
No.
is. Yeah. So Lisa has full support as she prepares for Broadway, as she prepares just you're busy. You know, you have speaking rights to make millions. You have a lot going on. We want to make sure that we have support around what Lisa is doing. So as you guys are sharing this business with other people, whether it is you want them to learn about how to make retail money, or if they want to just know how to join you as a customer, we have a new system in addition to what TLC is already offering that shares the business throughout the week. Lisa will be popping in. And so will her other leaders will be popping in throughout the month on that 7 o'clock call Monday through Friday. But this conversation is so we can be able to align in the conversation of how to tell our story, so we can be able to be great partners and representation of what it looks like to not oversell, but to really share a life-changing opportunity. So I'm very grateful for you, Lisa, for just even being open. I've traveled to Europe with her before. She has paid a lot of money to speak, okay? And a lot of money to share her story and to help develop speakers. So if you are on this line, you more than likely have been binary qualified. You made money in Total Life Changes, and you are in training when it comes down to telling your story online on our platform. So we want to make sure that we have our notes out, we record, because I even want to better, what did you call it? Up level, right?
Up level.
Up level the conversation. And again, you guys have been doing amazing jobs, but now we have a professional that has been able to do this and coach millions of people across the world online and offline on how to develop their story.
Amen. Thank you so much, Nellie. I love who you always stand to be. You are you're a game changer. You're a gladiator. You're a unicorn. I get how you may sometimes feel like you don't fit anywhere, because unicorns don't. The unicorns are supposed to be everywhere. So I celebrate you for investing in your growth. Everyone is here. We're all here because you invest in your growth. Where I'm only in this space, and the people that I've invited and the people that they've invited, we're only here because you made a commitment, I don't know, 3 years ago. I want to touch the better, best version of me. Now, mind you, you want to touch the better, best version of you, a woman in her mid-30s who are generating millions, who has 3 and 4 businesses, who loves God, who has family, who has friends, who's amazing, who's beautiful. And you're still saying, I want to touch my better, best. So
Thank you.
I want to celebrate you, because getting one-on-one coaching from me is not easy. It's not easy to even navigate that path, to find out how you do it. I'm a lot of things, but cheap ain't one. So it's not inexpensive. Like, it is an investment of time, of energy, of effort. And then I would have you fly to California or fly to wherever I was to do the meetings face to face. So I just want to commend you. And if you guys love on my girl in chat, I want to commend you for being a phenomenal leader because you understand the power of being a phenomenal student. And I always tell people, if I am a great CEO, it's because I am a phenomenal student. And I've gone further than most because I keep learning and I keep being a student. So you said something, and I want to just really be transparent and clear. You're either here because you're binary or because you happen to be on my team and you were just on the onboarding call and the calls converged and you don't have to get off, because I'm not about kicking nobody out anywhere. But I want you to listen to what the leaders in this business are learning, because we expect for you to take advantage of everything. So to everyone here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If I haven't met you yet, please type your name in chat and where you're joining me from. I saw Miami in the house. I saw some other folk. Thank you guys for giving my girl Natalie some love. She is the reason why we're all together. I've never done anything like this. I gotta tell you, Cinnamon, I don't do just random trainings. Like, training is my business. You know, I built a business over the last 20 years. I'm grateful for that. So I've never done this before. Christina from Vegas is in the house. Baltimore, Maryland is in the house. DMV, Stacy. I did a lot of fun stuff over there. Arizona. I just landed yesterday from Arizona last night.
Thank you.
Charleston. If we make sure all the
Yes, I
lines are muted,
appreciate it.
if all the lines are
You
muted,
too. Have a good
it'll be
day.
clean.
All right, let's mute everybody out, you guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes.
South Carolina. So excited. So today is Saturday. Thursday morning, I woke up in New York City to be on the Tamron Hall show. I went to New York 8 days prior to that to be interviewed on the New York Stock Exchange floor. Had one of those moments because I was very clear that I was a little girl from South Central LA, somehow made her way to the New York Stock Exchange floor. I was very humble. In New York for 8 days. Thursday morning, I woke up there to do the Tamron Hall show. By Thursday evening, I was having dinner in Arizona. Yesterday morning, I was on the ABC live TV. And by yesterday afternoon, I was in California feeding my daddy lunch. My dad had an accident and he can't use his hands. So I wanted to arrive in time to feed him lunch. I say that to say in 72 hours, I was in 3 states. And Saturday morning is my morning to move real slow and just kind of collect myself and get back on the ground, remember what time zone I'm in. And this Saturday morning was very different. I woke up, I was like, got to get in the shower, got to put, these are my lounging wear pajama kind of, they cute pajamas enough to be on camera, but they feel like pajamas because that's the kind of day it is. And I was excited about this conversation because I've been in business for 27 years. And by the grace of God, I've had the pleasure and the honor of being able to impact over 80 million people a year for the last 9 years and to generate close to $100 million in revenue. And I'm blown away that I've been able to do that. I'm blown away that that's my story, that I'm my name is on 10 bestsellers as of 2 weeks ago. I'm blown away because I'm that same chick. Thank you, Gareen. I'm that same chick that was broken in 1997. I'm that same woman who was diagnosed as clinically depressed in 2000. I'm the same woman. Can you mute your line? Everyone mute their line. Thank you so much for a clean recording for those who will join us via replay. I'm the same woman who found out at 25 she was functionally dyslexic. The same woman who got a fail in English and a D- in speech. And my speech teacher said, Miss Nichols, I recommend you never speak in public. So when I look at those things that I just share with you, they're not to brag at all. I don't need that. It's to say the power that we have to determine our own destiny. That nobody has the pen in. You can't see because I got this doggone green screen up on the back and I don't know how to take it down, y'all. I'm just whatever. Okay, my tech guy not here and I did the green screen in New York, but you got the pen in your hand to write your own story. And no one can write your story but you. And it doesn't matter what your chapter 4 looks like. What matters is how are you going to write your chapter 24? And so I've never done this before. All of my trainings are curated. They're all planned. They're all strategized. And in some way or another, there's an investment attached to it. I do a lot of things for free because I love philanthropic work. I do a lot of things for free. It normally has to do with teenagers because that's my jam. And that's where I want to give my time to teenagers and women coming out of abusive relationships. That's my jam, Valerie. That's my heart. Single mom, struggled in my teens, found myself suicidal at 19, but I couldn't tell anybody because I had an amazing mom, an amazing dad. I was an athlete. I was popular. So being that sad didn't make sense. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Raise your hand if you understand. It did not make sense. So I kept it to myself. So my passion is teens and women and coming out of abusive situations because I also had to do that. But in this season, I'm in a different season of my life. In that, I built my empire. I built a global empire and bigger than I ever imagined. And now I want to spend the rest of my time championing others to build theirs. And that's why I'm here. That's why I offered, Natalie, you want me to do a class? You want me to talk about language? You want me to help them? Are they interested in being helped? So I want to know, what would you love to learn from me? I don't quite know all the ways I'll teach it to you. They'll vary, they'll be different. But what would you like to learn from me? Some will be today, some won't. Some will go further than today. It requires more. Today is just an introduction and an invitation. That's it. And Natalie, I don't know where I saw your screen at. I know
I'm
you're
here. We spotlight you. We can keep her spotlighting for
okay.
the sake of the recording. So one of the things I would say that this call should be focused on, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, is the matter at hand with the presentations, right?
Okay.
So the presentations, there's all these amazing stories. The products work. It you know, it is what it is. But in order for us to get to the next level, I do believe when I spoke to you the other day, you and Danita, you had some really good pointers on how to like the right language, you know,
Yeah.
in telling your story, not leading with money, but also making an emphasis that freedom is having financial ability to do what you want. But the way you guys do it in such a eloquent manner, I think it's very, it's beautiful without cursing, just being able to show up with poise. I think that's
Yeah.
our next level. So even for
Perfect.
myself, I took away from that call in so many ways where we have to level up, you know? So we can spend this call on that.
Yeah.
And one thing I also noticed with you is when you're doing your calls, I would say it's definitely language, but when you speak, people are ready to make a move, you know? And if you guys, you can unspotlight me, Anthony, because I want it for the recording. We're gonna chop this up. Okay, thank you. So, because my hair looks mess. So, the thing about it is, I want us to have that conversation because in every room I saw you go into without even knowing all the money and all the products, everybody was a yes. Like literally, you told us buy the 15-day kit and we bought it, right?
Yep.
So if we can go through that, that'll be really good. Because I feel like when we're growing this big team in your pre-launch, I want them to feel safe in a place where they can send their people.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So I love that. I'm taking notes over here. We're going to start this journey now. It is a layered journey. It's like a really great, I didn't know one of my favorite foods is a croissant. You can give me a croissant all day, every day. I'm all for it. And I didn't know how hard they were to make because it's made in layers. And so I can't get any of my chefs to make a croissant. They want to make me a donut. They want to make me a biscuit, but they're like, croissants are so hard. I know y'all like, how is this about? Why is she talking about croissants? Because I love metaphors. And so powerful speaking, and write this down, powerful speaking and masterful enrollment, conversations and conversions. I'll say that again, powerful speaking, easy, masterful enrollment, conversations and conversions, meaning you want to convert a conversation to business, right? That's layer. That's like making a really great croissant. So we're going to start these layers. I love LQ says, sharing my story with impact, encourage, and reach my target demographic, how to turn pain into purpose without shame. I love that, Isis. And you can absolutely do that. Speak to make an impact, Doreen says. Authentically telling my story and reaching my tribe. Ciara says, knowing how much to tell without telling too much. Open up your line and pronounce your name for me because I want to make sure I pronounce it correct, sis.
DeQuandra.
DeQuandra. Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am.
It's easy. It's easy. DeQuandra, telling different parts of my story, storytelling, connecting with social media, not overselling. Okay, great. So we're on the same page. I'm going to start some of this today, and then let's agree now, give me a fire or a thumbs up or a heart if this is the beginning, and we'll do this again. How about that? So that we don't expect it all right now. Okay, great. Perfect. So number one, let's talk about your intentions, because your intentions are guides how you speak and what you say. So I'm going to go over some of the same things with you that I go over with my clients when they hire me to speak. When they hire me to speak, they pay a lot of money to get me to come, and I ask these same questions. So it's really important that we ask these same questions. Number one, what do we want our impact to be? So what I want to invite many of you to do is I want to extend the invitation to you to broaden your market. Broaden your market. Your market isn't determined by where you come from. Your market is determined by where you know you can be. So my market is a global market. I speak as if I'm always talking to a global market. So she's not just she's not just Black, she's not just Christian, she is humanity. Now, within that, I know I got 80% women. Within 80% women, I know that those 80% of those women, 60% are African American. I know that, but I'm talking to my global market because I belong to humanity. Does that make sense, LaTanya? So then when you begin to say that, that's my market, now we're going to curate your conversation so everyone can fit, because your market will only know that they're your market if they hear themselves, Jessica, inside your story. And even if they don't hear themselves in your story, Coach Q, they want to hear that their story can fit in your story. Now, I'm going to give you guys a lot, and then I'm going to recommend some things on my campus that you consider so that you can build the building blocks solid. I don't want to give you too much at the advanced level, because the disadvantage, Christina, of learning from the CEO of the conversation is that I teach you way up here, and I want you to not build any more of this business. I want you to build it so solid that it stands the test of time. Does that make sense? But here's the great thing about what I'm going to teach you. You can use it anywhere. Use it with your children. Use it when you're teaching classes. Use it in your relationships, family, familiar, friendship, or romantic. Use it when you're writing a book. Use it when you're teaching techniques. It's not just enrollment. It's great speaking, which happens to result in enrollment. Does that make sense? Valerie, does that make sense? So I'm going to teach you how to be powerful and impactful if you choose to take that journey. You use your superpowers in whatever way you choose to use your superpowers. All I ask you to do is, if you choose to learn from me, commit to using your superpowers for good. That's it. And because you come through Natalie, then I'm assuming that that's what you've already chosen. So let's talk about high impact, global impact. High impact, global impact. So high impact, global impact, it's an opportunity for people, anyone, to see themselves in you. So if you take notes, you want to say, people need to see themselves in me. Now, in order to do that, you need to pull away from any language, any tone that is specific to an age, specific to a culture, or specific to a religion. It doesn't mean to denounce any of those. It means that you want to go broader than deeper initially. You always can go deep later. You want to go broad first. Your job is to cast the widest net, Stacy. Cinnamon, the widest net. What I did last week, I just did a webinar on, Tuesday and Wednesday of last week, and we had about 2,000 people register for the webinar. In that 2,000 people, we had about 28 countries represented. And that was a very specific niche. Normally we have 53 countries at our events like this. but I was very niche. So you want to catch you want to cast the widest net, which means I want you to wordsmith your language this week. Watch your language as we go. Is that very age specific? Is that very cultural specific? Is that very religious specific? Now, I don't mean lose it all, but I mean 80% of your conversation has to be broad, and then you type in chat, drip in those age specific, gender specific, cultural specific. Does that make sense? I'm always a Black woman, and I'm a Black woman that loves God. I'm always going to be that. However, I widen the net in my language so that I can get everyone. And then I reference God here and there. And I say, I call him God, you call him whatever you choose. I'm not here to impose my belief system on you, but I call him God, you call him whatever you choose. You see how I just let anybody's faith fit in? But I'm not going to deny mine, but I'm not going to assume you have the same. Does that make sense? Now, I got to tell you guys, I'm talking global impact. This might not be a fit for everyone here, but Kiedra, I'm talking global impact. So if we're going to build your global brand, let's have a global conversation. Does that make sense? When Natalie was saying, what do we call this, storytelling? And I was like, well, it's actually operation level up. So you've mastered where you are. Now let's go. What does it look like if the ceiling isn't a ceiling? It's a sliding door, and there's more above that. Okay. So number one is I want you to wordsmith your words this week. No, don't judge yourself. No judgment, just wordsmith. Invitation accepted? Invitation accepted? Great. So just wordsmith this week. No right,
Lisa,
no wrong.
Natalie's asking, can you give them another example? You gave the God
Absolutely.
example where you broadened it. How many of y'all need another example of how to broaden your language?
Absolutely. I love examples. Listen, my superpower is also that I'm functionally dyslexic. So because I'm functionally dyslexic, and that's not a disease, that's not a label I put on myself to shrink, that is an awareness that I have so that I teach thoroughly and I learn thoroughly.
And then Lisa, I think more so, sorry to cut you off, because I really value your time. More so in the chat, I was mentioning when they're doing the call, right, at 7:00 in there, because we only have 30 minutes. So they can go broad, but there also needs to be some type of niche conversation to make the user understand what TLC offers outside of just selling them on the money opportunity.
Right.
So if we were to sandwich it, if there of a story at the beginning, and we don't just dive into money, was about 2 minutes, what would be a general way or language that we should use without going too deep into our story? Because I find
Right.
that sometimes people are going too deep into their story, and that really has nothing to do with their conversation outside
Right.
of how to. 'Cause
Right.
I notice when you speak, you have so many stories, but maybe we should figure out how to pick one story,
Right. Right.
really double down on that.
Right. Perfect. So number one, to go broad does not take longer. Broad does not mean longer. Number one, you're just choosing a different set of words. So let me give you some words that you can play with, because these are the words that are broad words. And I'm just talking, just broadening the why I have you here is because I'm gonna just start talking now. You guys just start writing. While you're here, because it's your birthright to have emotional success, physical success, and wellness, and financial. That's your birthright. So first, get people nodding, because many of you are on the opportunity call and people are like, why am I here? What's going to go on? How are they going to sell me? When you get them nodding, they buy into whatever is about to come because they already bought into what you just said. It's your birthright to have abundance. It's your birthright to live well. It's your birthright to have a body that works for you. It's your birthright. It's your birthright to feel good in your skin, in your body, to live long. That's a birthright. And our job, my job as a life changer and the person who invited you, is we want to help you have all that. You see how you just got the first nod? Don't put me on your agenda. Get on my agenda. I'm the guest. Get on my agenda. I want to get my life right. Right? Drisa said, that's good. You can have it, baby. And so we are here so that you can be everything you know yourself to be. We are here so that you can have everything in your body that you know you deserve to have. We're here to serve you. So number one, position TLC Green as a solution to a problem or as a path to a desire. I'll say that again. This is next level of selling. Position TLC as a solution to a problem. Your body has betrayed you. Your body's not doing what you want it to do. Your body has more in it than you know how to get out. Let our products help you get everything out of your body that you deserve. Let these products help to relieve you of the discomfort and the embarrassment that you might have in your body right now. We came to be a solution for you. The other side, in a moment, we're going to show you how TLC is the path to the desires that you've had. Because to Natalie's point, financial freedom does open up doors that many of us have seen locked for so many years. Watch how I do the languaging. So, yeah, so just record, because I'll talk too fast for you to get all of it, but write as much as you can because your mind learns differently. Christine, I know you laughing. I know, girl. Welcome to my campus. Everybody's like, say it again, say it again, say it again. That's why we got the recording. You want to listen to this recording 3, 4, 5, 6 times, y'all. Because everything I'm saying is yours. You don't need to keep, I'm not worried about keeping it from me. This is yours. So number one, you're here because it's your birthright. It's your birthright, your fundamental birthright to have peace of mind in your body, to love your body, to have good health, and to have financial freedom. It's your birthright to have that. That's why you're here. That's why someone invited you here, because they know that that's the truth for you. And we're here to show you how to get that, period. With a D and a T. All right. And then you can jump into, Isis, you laughing, you'll pick it up. Now I want you to notice how I speak, because I'm going to go straight. And then every now and then you'll see me sprinkle in my cultural things, because I'm a sister, I'm a this, I'm a woman, I'm spiritual, but you'll see it as a sprinkle, not the main ingredient, because I want to touch the world. And now once you say that birthright, it's real simple. It's real short, Green. That's literally like a 1 minute, 2 minute statement. It's a declaration. And then you say, so I want you to, Danita, do you have the Valley? You have the Valley framework. Can you send, who can share? Anthony, can you share screen? Are you available to share screen? If not, can you give us?
Ariana has it. I already sent it.
Oh, Ariana. So Ariana, can you share the screen of the Valley? I'm going to show you the framework. Now, many of you are saying you oversell or you get in, your story gets derailed. So number one, you have multiple stories, because a story isn't just a story. A story is an incident. So I want you to think right now, what's an incident, a moment in time that you were at an all-time low, and because you took action in a business like this and took back your power, that incident doesn't occur anymore. Let me give you an example. I'm going to show you a real fast story, because I think this is the key of this particular coaching session, Tiara. I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you what I'm about to do. This is a workbook. When My Soul Speaks is a 5-day training I give for high-level speakers. I'll tell you all about all that later. Danita, can you find the page that shares the Valley? And then can you give that number to Ariana, and Ariana can take us right to that page. So number one, we want to find your relevant stories. Type in chat, relevant stories. You only want to share a relevant story, and you want to share it in such a way. Thank you very much, Gareen. You want to share it in such a way that people can see themselves. Can you go to the page right before that? Is there a page right before that? Oh, okay, great. Let's go back down to that page. So the Valley is what we call it. The mountaintop is how many of you are introduced. Your mountaintop is where people edify you. Natalie has done, millions of dollars in this business. She's this, she's that, she's that. Lisa has done. So that's your Valley, your accomplishments. That's normally how someone else will introduce you, or how you will introduce yourself. I did it today. I'm blown away that my company has generated nearly $100 million in business, that I have 10 bestsellers attached to my name. I'm blown away that I touch over 80 million people a year. That was the big part. Did you see me do that already? Ciara, you saw me do that? Okay, Green, you're nodding. Yes, you saw me do that. Okay, great. You saw me do that. I want you to. So it's the I'm blown away that If you're edifying yourself, start with I'm blown away that I, or it still shocks me that I. That way, Gareen, you can go higher on your edification of self if you don't have someone introducing you. Right? I'm blown away that I. Someone type that in chat. It's real important to open with that, because otherwise you sound like you're bragging. I'm blown away that I. It still blows my mind that I. Right? It still blows my mind that I'm shocked that I. Then the valley. Now this is a moment. The reason why you're giving too much in the valley, the reason why Natalie says it's not relevant. And by the way, you're not the only person doing this. 7-figure, 8-figure, and 9-figure speakers do this still because they haven't learned this particular formula. So this formula allows you to be in and out of your valley in 2 minutes. You can do it in 3 minutes, but if you're short on time, you actually can do it in 2 minutes. My valleys are normally designed to be 3 minutes, but it tells your whole story. Okay, perfect. So this is a framework. Y'all getting some bonus stuff. This is in my training. We pulled out the workbook for y'all. Y'all better thank Natalie, because I don't open up this for everybody. These are for my private clients. And this is everything for you. Take a picture of this. So 3 big points, and then you go into a low point. So you go into a low point, and the bottom two sets, 3 things going on in your head, 3 moments of uncomfortable feeling. So watch me do this. Don't go anywhere. Ariana, stay right here, and I'll do this for you. So watch these stars. Watch the path that I go in. I'm gonna go big U, 3 things in my head, then over to the right, low point, 3 feelings, and then back up to the Y. So watch this right now. I'm blown away that I run a global company that has served millions of people, and that I've generated almost $100 million in revenue in my company. I'm blown away that I'm able to live my dreams and travel the world, because in 1997, notice I'm gonna pick a moment. In 1997, I was broken. In 2000, I was clinically depressed. And I always wondered, how did I get here? I need something so that I can climb out of this space of feeling like I'm in bondage. My head was filled with shame, with hurt, with blame, and with frustration. I didn't know exactly what had gotten me here. I felt like I would never, ever get out. I figured out, and I discovered TLC. I'm making stuff up for the sake of this example, but I discovered TLC. I had tried many things before, but then I tried this business. And when I tried this business, it showed me how I can use my voice to transform and change lives, how I can help people with their health and wellness, and I can help reduce obesity and diabetes, and I can help people have energy to save their life and serve their lives. And as a result of doing that, I looked up and I had generated initially a few extra $1,000s a month. And then those few $1,000s increased. And I'm blown away when I look back that I've generated over $1.2 million, or I've generated over $20,000 in my business. The numbers don't matter. Doing good things for all the right reasons, which is why, now I'm up in the upper right corner, you guys, which is why today I want to help as many people as possible to get their best life back, to design their own destiny, to help them help more people while helping themselves. I want to help initiate not only a health movement, but a financial freedom movement. And that's why I'm here today. Okay, if you can take the slide down, bring it back to me. Thank you so much. Do you see how I used a moment in time? So in order for you to not overselling your story, number 1, pick a relevant story. So think about what TLC is for. TLC is for body freedom, health freedom, mental freedom, and financial freedom. So pick a time when you didn't feel free. Pick a time when you felt like you were hostage to your environment, hostage to your outcome. It could be the same story, LaTanya, that you're already telling. Kiedra, the same story, Valerie, you're already telling. But we just want to tell it in such a way, Coach Q, that it fits the conversation. It doesn't feel like it's a add-on, a la carte. It is the meal. Does that make sense, Tiara? So it could be the same story, but we want to curate it in such a way that it links a little tighter, and the invited guests can hear themselves in your story. So some of your details, that level of detail is only important to you. We want the detail, but broader so we can fit in. Write down the listener has to see themselves in my story. And it's your job as a storyteller to tell it in such a way that they can fit in, Jessica. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of details I can give you, but they're just my details, Ciara. I'm going to broaden it and say, I was tired. Watch this. You can use this if you want. I was tired of never having enough. I was tired of always wondering, how do I get there? I don't want to look at other people's success through a window. I want my own. I was exhausted of hearing I had potential. I wanted my potential to be my reality, Isis. Kedra, you see the way you're listening to me, the way you're looking like this, like, okay, that's good. You want them listening like that, Amanda. And you want them nodding like Garina's nodding, like, yeah, I want mine too. Right? You want to say things like, I knew that there was success in my sales that the world hadn't seen yet. Amanda, you see how you nod like, yeah. And when you make it for you initially, then you come out of the why. Remember, you guys saw that why. The why is, why am I here? Why am I doing this for you? My why now, in this season of my life, my why now is I want to turn my gifts into someone else's reality of success. My why is I want to use my time and my talents to help other people build their dreams. And your why always has to be bigger than you, by the way. Christina, Valerie, your why, Justine, Martha, your why can never be just about you. Then your why is not big enough. Like, go play with your why by yourself. Like, why are you here if it's just about you? So your why has to always be, my why is I want to help as many women. If your story is about feeling broken as a woman or feeling whatever your low point is, your why needs to be connected to it. Does that make sense? I know I'm doing the fast versions for you, but now my why and why I'm here, Sheila, you would say something like, my why is I want to, before I sit down, I want to help as many people have mental freedom, emotional freedom, physical freedom, and financial freedom. Because when I felt stuck, when I felt like I was in invisible shackles, I knew what it felt like to feel in bondage without knowing where to get my freedom, without knowing who to go to. When I realized that I was my solution that I was looking for. I want to now spend as much of my time helping as many people as possible recognize that you are the solution to what you're looking for. You just need the right team. You need the right product. You need the right company, and you need the right commitment. And now you found it. In my personal belief, you found it. Anybody ready to re-register for TLC? So you got to watch out.
Lisa, I also want you to do a little bit about, because some of you have done so well in TLC, and I applaud you in the 7-figure and using that. Sometimes when you use that, they're too far away. So you can say for some of you, it may be $300 a week. For some of you, it may be $500 a month. What I know is that statistics show that families on average need $900 to make ends meet.
$900 extra in they're currently making. Make sure you say that.
Yeah, extra dollars, So you can bring it down, though you've made 7 figures, you can bring it down so your net goes wider to say, oh, I could use $100 more a week.
Now
So
watch
that
me challenge. Yeah, watch us challenge what you've already learned. So I'm going to challenge anything that doesn't have broad mass appeal. I don't care how long you've learned it. And if you're open, if you're down, you're going to unlearn some things so you can relearn some things so you can go further in your business if you're down for that. And it's also why I've never touched MLM before, because I already wanted to play too much bigger than how MLM was playing, because it wasn't a money game. I wanted to make broad impact. And by making broad impact, I can make more income. But what drives me is impact. Does that make sense, you guys? So I don't lead with money. So I recommend you don't lead with money. Money should chase good doing. Money should chase good deeds. And if you chase money, we've all known people to chase money. And because the industry has taught you that, you picked up the language of the industry. And sometimes it's not even how your vibration works. Am I talking to anybody? So you've had to adjust your vibration in this industry. Well, be clear, be clear. I'm not adjusting my vibration. I'm gonna bring my vibration into the industry to ideally become contagious. And for some of you, it's like, yay, okay, let's do this, right? So here's the vibration. I want to create as much impact in the world because people are unhappy in their bodies. They're running out of energy before they run out of day. Mothers, both married mothers and single mothers with children and fathers, but mothers are everything to everybody, but they haven't been enough to themselves. Hello, somebody, hello. And so I'm all about that mama putting herself first. Before you serve anybody, take your NutriBurst. Before you show up and be anybody's super shero, take your NRG. Before you feed anybody, handle your bloated feeling. Take your tea. Y'all see how now I'm impact? Now everybody's like, yes, girl, yes, do that thing. Let's get that get that NRG out there in the world because I want you to get this. I really want you to hear this because it's a solution to a real problem that people are having, and they don't know that there's a solution out there. So can we be the life changers? That's a great name, except for we need to lead like that. We need to lead like life changers, not hustlers. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a hustler, baby. And I want you to know, everybody sing with me. It ain't where I've been, but what? But where I'm about to go. And the world wants me to be a life changer for them and that their agenda is first. So yes, let's make great income because we made great impact first. And so when you're talking about the opportunity, to Danita's point, that was full circle back to my girl, Danita. So what she said was the average family is short $900 a month. They're short. I want you to hear it said a different way. They're short. So they have every month they have stress. Every month they have worry. Every month they robbing Peter to pay Paul, and some months they piss off Peter and Paul. So that's a level of person. That's a level of reality that we're going for too. Let us help you. Let us help you get your peace back by giving you an opportunity to serve people and make good income. That's, by the way, that can be your invitation into the business. Now, just so you know, I recommend you make a clear divided line that the first part is the product. And I saw Green do this. I loved it. Like, by the way, I don't do network marketing, so I do language and enrollment. I'm learning, I'm learning network marketing because I was always the keynote speaker for different network marketing companies, every single one you can think of, but I never would do the business. I was a no. I was a solid no. I was a solid no. No matter how many points they said, well, they'll give me, how much money on the board I could start. I didn't even understand any of that. I don't want to understand that because it doesn't feel good. It needs to feel good for me to do it. My integrity is never for sale. Right? And so now let's go. We want to help you transform your body. We want to help you transform your mind. And we want to help you transform your bank account. We want to help you with your mind first, then your body, then your bank account. If you're open. So if you just want mind and body, then just buy the product. This is how you segue. Just buy the product. And we're grateful that we have the opportunity to help you not feel bloated, to help you get a good night's sleep, to help you stay focused, to help you burn energy, to help you possibly not have to use medication to feel a certain way. We're excited that we can help you potentially do that. And if you want to have more financial peace of mind or financial abundance, then stay on the call. We'll invite you for that as well. You see our clean line? I don't start with the opportunity for bank account. I start with the opportunity for mindset and body. And many of you may already be doing that. And so then, now mind you, your story is 3 minutes or less. It shouldn't be less than 2 minutes. It's not long enough then. And remember, in your story, write this down. The key things about your story is what was going on in your head And what feelings were you having? Because that's a universal thing. I felt like a failure. I felt like I was embarrassed to be here. So when I hear LQ talking about her story of doing perfume, what I don't hear, LQ, if I can coach you, may I coach you? Because you're so incredibly coachable. I love you so much. Like you're my, like, one of my people of choice. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
I
Yes,
love you.
please
I love you
coach
much.
me.
Yeah. So I'll only coach LQ because I've heard her story the most, because she's so graciously joined us in some events. And she talks about selling perfume. And I heard you say once, I had a degree, but you never talk about that because you're talking about the edges. Here's how I would up level that story so that it has more impact. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's so that the listener can hear themselves in your story. I've never sold perfume at a department store, but watch how I open it up so that we all can fit in. I found myself selling perfume in a retail store. And while that's a great job, I knew I was built for more. I looked at myself some days at work and I wondered in my head, how did I end up here? I appreciate and respect where I am, but I should be further. There's more in my body than showing up in the world every day. I found myself having a bit of shame where I didn't want the people I knew to walk through the store every day. I didn't want them to even walk through at Christmas. I wanted them to see me doing more, but I didn't know how to connect the dots. And that's when you can open it up to your audience. Have you ever tried to figure out how to connect the dots? Raise your hand if you have. You see, LaTanya, what I just did? I took a situation and made it global. Now, you can do all that in 3 minutes. Follow that structure. Just share with me your situation, your incident, how you felt, and what was going on in your head. And remember to use words that you're going to use when you come out for your why. I felt embarrassed. I was proud about how I showed up, but I was embarrassed that I had to show up that way sometimes. Not every day, but some days. So today I'm excited about sharing with you an opportunity to transform your body, to expand your mind if you want to. And for those of you to create another revenue stream, at the end of the day, I want you to show up and be proud of the life you live. Now I'm going into the business opportunity. You see how, I see you, Ciara, nodding. Are you getting it, baby? Open up your line. Tell me what you got. Give me just a little nugget of what you got.
Thank you. Thank you. Starting with the opportunity to help people with the mind and body part, the clear separation. I mean, I've been taking voracious notes the entire time, but how did I end up here? That feeling like you breaking down with Coach LQ is breaking down, oh, how did I get here? I was embarrassed. Just that authenticity of being embarrassed, and who hasn't felt embarrassed? So like the embarrassment is what's going to be that broad catch for
yes,
people.
common denominator.
Yeah, common denominator. So this was masterful to listen to, and everyone, I'm sure, has, these are gems, and I want to say thank you.
You're welcome, sis. Cinnamon, I'm going to jump over to you. Unmute your line. What's a takeaway, something you can apply this week? So now, ladies, I'm action-based. I am a coach. I am not about just transferring intellect and just kumbaya. I am about action and deliverables. So now I want you to begin to look at, what can I do this week? What can I apply this week? We're going to do it like the croissant. It's going to be layers, right? Somebody, y'all got to get me a croissant when we see each other. But anyway, that's another soft request. Amen. Cinnamon, what's the takeaway for you that you can apply?
Okay, so first, thank you so much for your wisdom. The first thing I'm going to do is definitely listen to my word choices.
Yes.
And so that I can broaden my dialogue. I asked the question, how do you broaden yet still be authentic? And as I was typing it, you started answering it. So I'm like, okay, well, here it is. But that was the biggest thing, because I realized what I kept writing is feelings. Everyone relates. They don't care what you say. It's how you make them feel about who they are and where they are. And I love the mountaintop and valley. So I'm going to write out my entire story several different ways and use as much of the mountain to valley and back up.
I love it.
It was brilliant. Thank you.
I love it. And I gave it to you really fast. So don't just know, get the layer that you need to get right now, wherever it lands, it'll land. We have more time. We'll do more. Green, what's one of your takeaways?
Lisa, let me just say again, thank you. This, I don't know about everybody else, but well, I heard Cinnamon, and so I know she's been impacted. But thank you. Thank you to Coach Nally. What I heard when I heard you rephrase LaQuell's story, because again, I've heard it over and over and over again, right? But it wasn't until I heard you frame her story, I started thinking about my story and what was my pain point that I usually gloss over it, but I need to capture people on that, because I know that everyone experienced some form of level of disappointment, hurt, and shame. And I need to tap into that when I tell my story, because I've had that experience as well. So that was for me reframing my story. So thank you for that.
Perfect. So we're on a good page then. If we're here, we're on a really good page. And then let me just say, when we talk about money, I want to talk to you about money. Money is a masculine energy. Money is a masculine energy, and money is attached to so much trauma. So you can't just throw it in the middle of a situation. To me, a lot of MLM conversation is, you want to go with me too far, too fast. And I did not invite you to go with me that far, that fast. The energy is the energy of rush. And the reality is we want to work with an energy of importance, not urgent. We want to rush with an energy of, I don't want you to miss out, not you have to go now. We want to work with the invitation of the train stop by your station to say, all aboard. The train stopped by your station, and we just want you to have the option to get on board. Now, the door's going to close in a minute. It'll keep going, but it'll come back around to you again in the future. You want that. People respect the fact that they have, especially when you're working with leaders. Leaders need a back door to say no. And so you'll hear me say, this isn't for everyone. Health and wellness is. So everyone is qualified to be healthy. Notice I didn't say everyone should buy the product. Y'all listen to the words. I didn't say everyone should buy the product. Everyone has a birthright to be healthy and well. So I invite everyone to take radical action in making sure you have the tools that a gladiator needs in your cabinet to keep going. Wonder Woman needs NutriBurst. Superman got to take his NRG. I'm just saying, look at how I'm saying it. So you choose how big you want to play. And then when you segue over to finances, you allow it to land in a way that's digestible. What I noticed when we listened to a number, because we did listen to a number of your presentations, and there's no judgment. You know what you know until you know more. I promise you. The same thing I'm teaching you is the same thing I teach 10-figure to 11, if you can believe, 11-figure, way, way, way older than me, speakers and trainers who've written tons and tons of books. They just didn't have an awareness of it. You want to, when you invite in finances, meet people where they are. When you drop 7-figure income earner, they can't even fathom that, so it doesn't feel believable. So start with, we're in a different financial time. And in this financial climate, we can create more 6-figure income earners, more additional revenue, even 7-figure than ever before. We have the opportunity that our grandparents didn't have. We have an opportunity to pick up everything on the table that they earned for us. Notice how your heads are nodding. Like, now I'm doing it for my lineage, for my ancestors. Hold up. Make it bigger and broader in whatever nationality. That I want to see the financial freedom that my ancestors purchased for me. Now I can get deep, right, Sarah? I can listen. I want to cash in on that. I want to stay at the hotel that my great grandmother had to clean. Notice how I'm saying all of this. I haven't mentioned 7 figures yet. Buy me into the mindset. Buy me into the lifestyle. That's going to keep me going a lot further if I don't make money my first week. If I don't make money my first month. You want to cement them into the longevity of TLC. so that I think Natalie said the 20% stay rate, that needs to go up to 30, 40%. But that's this conversation. And then you say, I want to invite you to build a future on cement, not sinking sand. The belief system that 2 incomes is enough, that is outdated and not in this climate is it true. We need to build some solid revenue streams. We need to have multiple revenue streams. It's called MIT. Write that down, Amanda. MIT, multiple income technology. And that is what's going to change the game. And in TLC alone, the average person who wants generational wealth should have 5 to 7 income streams coming in. 5 to 7 income streams. Though TLC is one entity, it has 5 by itself. Hello. Now, Isis, the only way that made greater sense is because I just taught about, no, it's not TIM, not TIM, it's MIT, multiple income technology. So when you teach something broader and then TLC fits into it, your life, your birthright is financial abundance and physical abundance. Life isn't about TLC. TLC is about making the life that you've earned worthwhile, making it bigger, making it better. So your vision is your vision and TLC is the vehicle. Danita, you want to speak to how we always position it bigger than TLC, but TLC is the vehicle to get you there?
Absolutely. So when we do start our calls, what Lisa's great at is enrollment. And so she says we're creating a movement of mind, body, spirit. And for some of you, bank account.
Yeah.
And so she brings it up to a higher movement. And the things that she said, your birthright, about your body, inflammation, and keeping your body in check to live out your purpose and legacy for your grandkids and your great grandkids. And if you don't have kids, maybe your nieces and nephews. And it's our job to find out what the issue is so that we can give you the solution. And so bringing it, because I've been in network marketing, very successful, 7 cars, the whole 9. And I just led with recruiting people. And I said, this time I'm going to lead with product. And from the product, I'm going to get the people.
And through the product, bigger than the product, lead with impact and birthright.
Yes.
That there's a calling on your life. And your body currently might not be able to live that calling out. Let's get your body ready for the calling on your life. Let's get your body ready for the purpose that's calling you forth. Let's make sure gladiators can gladiate. That's all product.
And then we tell a story about the product.
You're writing notes so fast. Is that your thumb moving that fast? She rocking back and forth.
Then we share a product or a testimony about the product, not what the product does. People remember stories versus facts. And you can share 98% absorption with NutriBurst. Like I'm still learning, but you can share those little facts, but a story lasts longer.
A real problem, a real
problem solved.
And had real feelings attached to it, real shade, real shadow, real shame, real hurt, real pain. And then they came through the light. Think of every movie you ever loved. There's a dark time and then the main protagonist comes out through the light. You can do that in 3 minutes and you can use TLC as the light on the other side in many cases. Natalie, you were somewhere. I know you're going to be catching a plane soon. Justine,
yes, I am on here. So so Lisa, I'm on here. Hey. So I want to first say thank you so much. I remember when I was in my transition and I flew to LA and I was telling you about the success I've had in Total Life Change because we met at Eric Worre's house and you knew at the time I wasn't ready. So after I told you where I was at, you did exactly what you're doing with this team. I pay you guys. I invested very good into Lisa, and it was worth it because I was dealing with so much trauma. And when I listen to you right now, it gets me excited because I believe the only reason why I'm still in Total Life Changes and why my business is sustainable is because I have attached the why with the impact. And then the income has came along the way. So the reason why we're having this call is because we're up leveling our opportunity calls, right? So
Yeah.
everyone on this call, we want to make sure there's a call to action because Lisa has literally enrolled and has grown pre-launch before November 17th. It's exciting, but we're gonna be in San Diego.
I gotta shut my mouth because I don't know a lot about the business, but we were in a room, Natalie, with 24 people and 19 enrolled. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Maybe like no, 24 enrolled because they end up the next day saying that they want to join. And mind you, listen to this, you guys. Lisa isn't going into the products like a scientist. She's
I don't
not
know how.
her, Danita and Lisa would just share, right? And we were just having a lot of fun. And by the time that we were done, doctors out of the country and they're like, I want to take over my country and I want to do this. And it was the word choice, the language, the storytelling, everything you're saying right now. I was like, that's my birthright too. I got to get going, you know? So I want to say, Lisa, we value you. I love you so much. I appreciate you. It's the honor to serve the mission. I'm just motivating the masses and really supporting you build your brand right now because there's so much of the world does not know about you. Yeah. And when I listened to you in Estonia, I think it clicked to me. I was like, everybody's standing up and they're like, it was like church. I was like, wow, this is good.
But y'all, you got to know.
At parties in Estonia handing out NutriBurst from people all around the world. We had crowds around us at the parties.
There were fewer people there from America than any other place. So it was like, out of 1,400 people, I could say there was maybe 15 African Americans there and very few Americans. So I'm excited. What I'd love to do is, I'm all about TLC freedom. What I'd love to do is extend the invitation to each one of you. I'm so excited about how coachable you get to be. Natalie is so incredibly coachable. Most great leaders are extremely coachable. And so I'd love to find a way for us to interject and cross each other's intersections and make this a great big win. And in that, there's a universal energy that we get to kind of dance inside of. I'm gonna be radical, and I'm going to, if you give your email, Natalie, I don't know exactly how you would do this. I'm gonna leave this to you. It'll be a gift from me, but I'm gonna leave this to you. If you give me your name and your email, I will give you virtual access to my Speak and Write to Make Millions event that's happening in a couple of weeks. That is you're welcome. You're welcome. It's a ticketed event. It's already practically full. So you can attend virtually. It's really powerful. We have a great virtual platform. And we have virtual hosts, and you'll learn a lot, the foundation of what I'm saying. Some of you may decide that you want to upgrade and come live. You're welcome to do that too. I think we have a few seats left because it is the come live is a VIP private, more exclusive thing, but I'll give you the first ticket so you can just come and see, right? So I'll make sure, but I just need Natalie, I just need you to organize the emails.
Yeah, everyone on here is either invited because they were in your Lisa Nichols group or they are binary in my other group. So I'll make sure that we get
all I need is their emails. Yeah, I need is your name and your email.
Yeah, so second thing is I want to make sure that we have a call to action from this call. The schedule will be going out for the TLC Freedom calls. And what we're going to do is we're going to tag team with you to give you an opportunity to share your story, your testimony on the product. On that call, the format, of course, is your story, the product stories, and the money opportunity. So we're going to lead it, and then we're going to tag team a few of you all, like Cinnamon, Green will probably tag team you. So we're going to make sure that we put all this knowledge to work this week and the following week. So I'm very excited about our next level. Make sure you respond back to our email when we invite you to Speak and Write to Make Millions. So I can be able to give, and Tanique will give Jasmine the list with their emails and their names so you can be enrolled in the virtual access.
Yes, and so I saw the framework is your story, the product story, and the money opportunity. And what I'd like to invite you to consider is, as you're welcoming people in, do that birthright. Birthright should take you about a minute and a half. It's not a long thing. It's a
Yeah.
separate context as put it back on them. You're on their agenda. Remember, you're here to provide something that they want. And then inside your story, and then when you're coming out of your story, I'm just using the framework Natalie just said, when you're coming out of your story, remember that the last part of your story is your why. So why I do this now. And your why should have everything, Justine, to do with them. Now I'm committed to helping as many people, ... I always say, when you're learning, follow the script initially and then fill in the blank with your truth. But do the first part like I teed it up to you. And the reason why I'm here is because I want to help, or I'm inspired now to help. So your why is now attached to the product story. Does that make sense? So the dots connect. It's not as fragmented. So now I'm excited to help as many people dance in their life, celebrate their life, stand in their greatness. And good health is one reason, one way. And you can't stand in your greatness or be happy if you're not in good health. Like, you see how that why, Amanda, I see you nodding strong. That why should land right into the product. And it should start with, I want to help people what? And the first what is health. And live their body right. Not just get healthy. We don't relate to the phrase get healthy anymore. We heard it so much. But it's more of live out the purpose on your life because your body's working. Feel good in your body and eliminate any shame. Look in the mirror and love who you see. Not give away your health and wellness because you've been taking care of everybody else. You see how all those reasons can make you nod? Does that make sense, Sheila? Does that make sense? Kiana, does that make sense? So all those whys already got me nodding. So now when you go into the product, I'm down. Like, what we doing? What we doing? Right? And so then you go into the product story base. And then when you get to the money part, remember, I'll say this and I'll close. The money part needs a segue too. It's called a bridge. Write that down, the bridge. So most people don't bridge well. I'm not going to teach that as speaking right because it's kind of like an advanced course. I teach that in my other course, but I do want you to be introduced to the word. Your bridges need to be clean and make sense so that they can hold on to it. So then in the bridge for the money, I'm just going to make up some, but I just want to give you some examples. Good people should do financially well because they'll do more good in the world. Or money has a strong energy to it. In most cases, it has a lot of hurt, pain, and desperation. I found a way, and we tapped into a way where we can take away that desperation. We can bring it into abundance. Or we have a right to be able to fund our children's dreams, or at least take care of college tuition long in advance. Notice how the bridge starts talking about money. Does that make sense? That when good people have more money, good people do more good. And there's so many good people who don't have happiness because they're financially struggling. Has anyone here, raised your hand, had your joy snatched away from you because of some financial reason or financial lack? You see how, and now I want to show you how we can impact that. And we can build your bottom line, and we can help you help others to build theirs too, if you're interested. You see how that's gracious? Now, by the way, I'm teaching you, so I'm using more words. That literally is a 1 minute, 1.5 minute bridge. All right. So with that, I appreciate each one of you. I hope that this was good for you. I hope that you found value. Please type in chat your takeaway and your action item for this week. Everyone has an action item. What are you going to take away? What are you going to apply? My goal is that we can refer each other's communities to each other's platforms to learn. My goal is that every night that you're speaking, every day that you're teaching on, I can refer the people that I'm inviting to your call and vice versa. In order to do that, we need to have project level up, and we need to practice it and get comfortable so we feel good about having a global audience listening to each of our conversations. So the action call is for you to focus on those nuances, to get clear on your story, to work on your bridge, to get in and out, to make it about them before it's about you, to do it in clear, succinct statements. I know croissant layers. This is just layer one. If I knew how to make a croissant, I'd tell you what that first step is, but I don't know how to make a croissant. And we'll keep doing this, but practice your layer one this week. I love you, Natalie. I love each person that's here. I love your comments.
I love you. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, Danita, for your leadership as well. Today was amazing. So make sure you guys check the chat with the call to action. Be ready to share your story and book your lunch.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
I love it.
I love your comments that you're saying. I got to make the dough first, make it about them, order samples. I love everything that you're saying. Linked homework, create TLC Valley. Great, great, great. I love it. Yep.
Let them see themselves in your story. I love it. You guys are coachable, and thank you for being open to taking your business to the next level.
Yeah,
so that we can work as a community and change, make
when
this
your
movement happen.
When your communication rises, all tides rise. I'm a girl from South Central LA, and I got a fail in English. And my English teacher told me I was the weakest writer she ever met in her entire life. And I was embarrassed to speak in public because I didn't have a lot of words in my lexicon. I didn't know a lot of words. And I went and I worked on my language. I worked on the way that I spoke. I wanted to speak in front of older white men and never shake. I wanted to speak in front of people of different cultures and nationality and never shake. I wanted my faith to come through my words and them know that's a woman of God without me having to throw Bibles and scriptures at everybody who may not know that. I wanted them to see and feel my godliness, not have to hear me say it all the time. I wanted them to understand that I'm in the business of transformation, but I am a businesswoman. And so if you're interested, Project Level Up is something that all of us can do. I know I'm an example of it. And together we can do a lot more than we've ever done individually. And this is my season for truly focusing on, this is my season for leveraging what I've built to see how many other people I could help. And so when Natalie asked this request of me, it was an easy yes. And so I want to see it in action this week. I'm going to look at you guys so I could see. You don't need to do everything, just do something. And then we'll get it all done. I love you. Be good to yourself today. Before you
Unmute yourself, say goodbye to someone. Bye, Cinnamon.
Open
Bye,
up your line.
Sierra.
Open up your
Bye.
line.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
I'm so
Lisa.
grateful.
Coach
Natalie. Bye,
Leah.
Coach
Bye,
Leah.
Lee. Thank you,
Bye.
Lee.
Bye,
Thank you,
Valerie.
Tanya,
Natalie.
Michelle,
Bye,
Bye,
Jessica.
Christina.
Bye.
Rita.
Bye,
Thank you so much.
Jessica.
Love.
Bye,
Sheila.
everyone.
guys.
Kareem.
Bye,
Thank you, Miss
Jessica.
Lisa
Bye,
Coach
Nichols. Thank you,
Danita.
Serene.
Danny. I appreciate you all.
Infinite love,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye,
Amazing,
Sierra
amazing.
girl.
Thank you, Coach
Love you
Natalie.
all.
Such
Thank
good
you so much.
energy.
Bye, Latanya.